like there was a cold snap at times today for whatever reason. And what did I read today? How about this one? It was kind of interesting. I know a lot of people are paranoid about drone spying and so forth, and there's security concerns about it being around airports. How about this one? This one says, drone found at airport sent photos in real time. So what happened here, huh? It says the investigation over the drone found on the runway of Sardar Vallabhbhai Airport found that visuals from the drone's camera can be accessed through any mobile phone connected to its Wi-Fi enabled remote control. After a report was made at the airport police station about a suspicious drone on February 6, despite efforts by authorities from 3 police stations, no significant leads have been established. The focus has now shifted to forensic examination by the FSL. Sources from Ganagaar FSL have shed light onto the drone's capabilities. The black-colored drone operates via Wi-Fi connectivity. Users can connect their mobile phones to the drone's remote control, allowing real-time access to visuals from the runway. This is facilitated by the drone's dual flashlights and a 4-axis camera. Actually, with the way they're saying that, isn't that pretty much every single consumer drone almost when you think about it? It says furthermore, its 1800 milliamp battery capacity enables operators to maintain visual contact during flight by tethering their smartphones to remote via Wi-Fi, said a source. Vidi Vagela, the in-charge inspector of the airport, highlighted the ongoing efforts in the investigation, saying here, quote, "Our team in collaboration with Sardar Nagar and Megani Nagar police stations has been focused on resolving the drone issue. We anticipate crucial insights from the FSL's examination. We requested the FSL to rapidly provide chip data and Wi-Fi details related to the drone, aiding in tracking down the operator. In addition, we're utilizing CCTV footage and intelligence to advance our investigation," Vagela said. Yeah, again, in terms of just the drone and what it can do, it sounds like almost every other drone, isn't it? Unless you specifically found details or you can somehow pinpoint where it was phoning home and all that. So yeah, I don't know. In general, it sounds like it's one of those things where it's a hot topic, so just bring it up for like security issues, I guess, to generate buzz, if that's the way to say it anyways. And in terms of generating buzz, wow, this was kind of crazy. I've seen before, there's a lot of program nowadays where you can generate things like videos by simply typing in simple keywords or sentences. For example, if you type in things like a dog running around the park or something like that, then this AI would try to create literally like a realistic scene of it. Now, usually it's not very realistic looking, but this one created by OpenAI, it looks crazy. It's called Sora. It looks very realistic to the point where I can see a lot of people using this for commercial applications, which makes you wonder. So as written here, it says, "Here is Sora, our video generation model. Today we are starting red teaming and offering access to a limited number of creators." And there's various examples in the conversations. Like, some people are worried, hey, this will take over, I guess, every type of potential production jobs and so forth. People that do things creatively. Like, it has the Mr. Beast here saying, "Sam, please don't make me homeless." And it says, "We'll generate a video. What would you like? A monkey playing chess in a park." Now, if you look close enough, you can probably pick out the little details and say, okay, this is fake. But just look at this. Like, this one, someone creating, for example, what they say was an instructional, I guess, cooking video. Imagine typing in these phrases and generating this, and someone just saw this really quickly, for example, just browsing through their phones and scrolling through videos. How could most people tell this is fake? I don't think they would be able to. Or same thing, like I mentioned about the dogs, like someone just typed in something for fun, 2 golden retrievers podcasting on top of a mountain. Again, if you look really close, there's little details that you can tell is not real, but overall, this is kind of crazy in terms of the progress. Just a few years ago, again, it looked pretty horrendous. It's not commercial quality per se, but now, who knows? I can imagine this too. In a bad scenario, imagine people wanting to defame or slander people, like getting them to do things that obviously they would never do, for example. So who knows where this is gonna lead, huh? And this was an interesting bit that was spreading online. As you know, recently here in Canada, it was determined that the federal government overstepped its boundary in terms of using things like the Emergencies Act. I guess you could say it was, quote, illegal, but they are essentially going to dispute it and appeal it in court. But because of that, potentially, I'm guessing people are going to sue the government, and it seems like that's what's happening now anyways. So from the sounds of it, there's this law firm that seems to be representing people who are affected by the use of that Emergencies Act on them. And who knows what's going to happen here, but it says today, Logberg Ector LLP commenced proceedings in Ontario Superior Court of Justice on behalf of 20 victims of the Trudeau's government's unconstitutional misuse of the provisions of the Emergencies Act in February 2022. The plaintiffs in this action seek compensation and related relief arising from the unjustified and unconstitutional actions of the Liberal government, as well as the actions of certain police agencies and Canadian financial institutions who followed the unlawful orders of the Liberal government, and other defendants who participated in or promoted these actions. A democracy is only as strong as its commitment to the rule of law, and when a government decides it is not bound by the law of Canada, the resulting unlawful action not only breaks the law, it undermines and degrades the very democracy that put the government in power in the first place. And they emphasize here this is not about any single instance of free speech or any particular protest, and it specifically does not matter how anyone feels about the Freedom Convoy protests. What matters is the obligation of the government has to the people of this nation to obey the law. This litigation is about that obligation. So it got me to think too, since the government is appealing this Emergencies Act usage where the judge federally said it was not lawful, what happens if they win their appeal? Wouldn't that automatically make this case, for example, invalid in that sense? It just makes you think whether or not others will actually start suing the government as well. If you remember that other story, it wasn't a government, but that organization had things like vaccine mandates and all that, where when it went through the court system, it kind of came out where it appeared the management just kept those types of policies in place despite, for example, any real factual evidence, science, if that's what you want to say. It's more about, I guess, perception and the fact that they didn't want to look bad if they have to backtrack. So it makes you wonder if people will start suing, for example, the government more over stuff like this, because during those years there were a lot of people who were targeted and, I guess you could say, discriminated against, not based on actual, I guess you could say, facts, if that's what you want to say anyways. Alright, see you guys later.